Why does your child call every man Dada? Hello everyone and Assalamu alaikum. This is Introduction to Psychology Part 2 by Dear Knowledge. Okay, so this is chapter of learning and we've got lots of topics in the chapter of learning and this is the lesson 2 which is all about the types of learning. And the types of learning, this is going to be part 2, operant conditioning, and this is part 2H, which is generalized and discriminative stimulus. Yes, we have studied this topic, the generalization and discrimination, in the classical conditioning, but here we're going to learn this in the operant conditioning. Like, what does generalized and stimulus, discriminative stimulus, have to do with operant conditioning? So uh, the question is, why does your child call every man Dada? So this is a basic phenomenon in the psychology that is called generalization. And we're going to start with the first. You will need to understand what actually is generalization and how does the child stop saying Dada to every single man and only call Dada to his own father, his own daddy. So today we're gonna know the reason behind that. And before knowing the reason behind that, I want you to understand these general concepts, like what is generalization, what is discriminative stimulus, and what does it have to do with this question, and how can it answer the question. So, just as in classical conditioning, operant conditioning or operantly conditioned responses also can be generalized to stimuli that are only similar to the original stimulus. Now, for example, a parent who has not experienced that wonderful moment when a baby who is just learning to label objects and people refers to every man she sees as Dada. So the name Dada is a response to the presence of her own father and is reinforced by his delight and attention to her. But in the beginning, she will generalize her Dada response to every man. So, as the other man failed to reinforce her for this response, she will learn to discriminate between them and her father and only call her father Dada. So, in this way, the man who is actually her father becomes a discriminative stimulus, which is any stimulus such as stop sign or a doorknob that provides the organism with a cue for making a certain response in order to obtain reinforcement. So the generalization is a basic concept, is a process in which the child generalize every single stimuli and give the same response to every single stimuli. But just in a classical conditioning, in operant conditioning, when a child stop receiving the reinforcers, stop receiving the reinforcements from the other stimuli and receive the reinforcement from only one stimuli, so it will learn to discriminate between the others and that one from which that child is getting the reinforcement. For example, a child who calls every man Dada will not get the attention, will not get the reinforcement from the other man, and will be ignored. So the child will learn that the only person who responds to this when I say Dada is her own father, and she will discriminate it. And next time she will not call the other man as a Dada, and she will only call her own father as Dada. So this is the reason why the child started calling every man Dada. But in the end, they learn to discriminate between her father and other people. Okay, so this was all about today's video. If your concept is clear, you can like the video. If there was any point that was a bit confusing, you did not get it, you can ask me in the comment section and I'll be happy to help you out. Plus, if you're new to this channel, you can subscribe to our channel, click on the bell icon so you'll never ever miss any notification. You can also share the link of this video, the link of this channel with your family members and friends because sharing is caring. Until then, Allah Hafiz.